Hello, everyone. I'm the director for our New Zealand registered not-for-profit charitable educational trust called Common Knowledge. When I immigrated to New Zealand in the 90s, I put 25 years of work into that, of developing what is now called the Birthing Better childbirth preparation skills that I and hundreds of fathers and mothers developed in the early 1970s in the United States. I've been incredibly privileged to have spent 50 years of my life doing something that I really didn't have any interest in. Childbirth is not my political agenda, and nor is someone's diet. However, I am absolutely passionate about us as humans being skilled, and it was something that when fathers and mothers, men and women, and I developed these skills, I knew, they knew, we knew that they had to be carried forward. And so I agreed to do that. And here I am 50 years later, still doing that. Why did fathers and mothers want to develop skills for their birth? Because they knew it was a big activity. And we also know as human beings that we absolutely thrive on being skilled. We love being skilled. We're skilled in doing everything. And in fact, I'll tell you a story. When my youngest was little, I was sick and tired of tying shoelaces. That's a skill, isn't it? So I bought this little one Velcro shoes. And by the age of 9, he didn't know how to tie shoelaces. That's a skill he needed to learn. So when we think about it, we have skills for everything in life, but we don't around childbirth. Although when I gave birth in 1970, we did. It was called Lamaze and Bradley, and in New Zealand, Grantley Dick Reed. But those skills were focused on low-risk women, and they were focused to achieve 3 narrow goals: natural birth, pain-free labor, oh my goodness, and no medical interventions. So they failed. They failed to achieve those 3 goals. But they achieved something else in the United States where Lamaze was taught everywhere. We coped better. We managed better. We dealt with things better. They weren't great skills, but at least it was the start of thinking about birth as an activity for which we should have skills. So Birthing Better just grew from that. We didn't imitate Lamaze or Bradley. We developed skills that everybody could use because Lamaze skills or Bradley skills weren't adjustable, they weren't adaptable, and they weren't sustainable, and they certainly were not targeted to 100% of pregnant women, of which all of us, 100% of us, are going to give birth. So we wanted skills that would work for our birth. We don't care about anybody else's birth, really. We care about our birth. And our baby's birth is important to us. So we want skills for our births. So therefore, we had to develop skills that were universal. And that wasn't hard. It really wasn't hard. You're sitting there now. I'm sitting here now. The bones you're sitting on, move them as far apart as you can. That makes more room for your baby. Relax down there. Soften inside down there. That helps your baby. All of the skills are easy to learn, practical. And so what I did was carry them around in my head for 25 years because it was very difficult to make a multimedia resource back then. Think of it now, how easy it would be, but not back then. So it wasn't until 2000 that our first resource came out. And you're going to laugh at this. It was a VHS, a cassette, and a book, but it was only half the skills. So when the next half of the skills got put into the resource, it had become a DVD and CDs. Then we went digital downloads, and now we're on online learning management systems. That's a problem because it's very linear. So when you purchase the complete course, don't go through it in a linear fashion. As a pregnant woman, pick the skills you're interested in. What are the gaps in your mind? What are you interested in learning? And as a birth coach, pick the skills you're interested in, because I'm going to just keep saying this over again. Fathers and mothers alike, men and women alike, created this. Why? Because we as women do the birth, and you guys, or others, are the ones who see us do this birth. You see how we sound, you see how we look, you see whether we're coping or managing well or feeling out of control. And why is that important? Because there's always been 2 elements of childbirth. One is suffering, which can be hugely reduced or eliminated by all of us becoming skilled, or a risk. And really preparing your body can eliminate some risks because you get your baby out more easily with less trauma to you or your baby. So it's important to understand that if we can reduce suffering, if we can stay in control and cope and manage, deal with, handle, wow, then that's a benefit. And we can work together with our partner or the person who's going to be in this baby's life. That's a huge benefit. And if we can reduce any risks from becoming problems, or if we can solve any problems so they don't become tragedies, this is a huge benefit. So the complete skills is this course. We have lots of other courses because these are all modules. So we created more courses that are targeted to your unique pregnancy. Can birthing better skills be used in a non-laboring cesarean? Of course. Our body's preparing to have a vaginal birth. All the hormones are there. Our body's the same. Prepare it. Why? Because we get closer to our baby, closer to our partner, feel more involved in this infrequent experience that we have called pregnancy. Then we use the skills on the way to the hospital. That's our labor. And when being prepped, that's our transition. And during the surgery, that's our birth. Why? Because we stay more involved. A lot of people say to me, I don't have time. And then our trust says to them, when your baby's born, are you going to have time? Of course I will. Your baby's here now. You're pregnant with your baby. Invest time doing the activity to get your baby out of your body. Why is this important? Because we need to let go of the birth afterwards. And if we're overwhelmed, if we feel it's surreal, if we feel passive, if we feel disengaged, if we feel that we have had no ability to really participate in this, it's hard to leave the birth behind. It's called birth trauma. We don't want to do that. We want to be engaged and we want to participate. So purchase the course, give it to a friend. There you go. See you later.